Hi, my name is Devin, and today we're going to go through crack filling or crack sealing your driveway. I wish it wasn't so, but I tell most people, count on your driveway cracking. Count on your asphalt driveway or your asphalt parking lot cracking. There's things we can do like using asphalt sealer to reduce the risk or reduce the chances of this happening and prolong our pavement life. But if you live in a cold climate and tough winters, warm summers, it's going to be hard to completely prevent your driveway from cracking. It's even driving heavy vehicles on top of your asphalt increases your chances of that pavement cracking. So this video is going to address how to take care of a cracked pavement. So what tools do you need and what materials do you need? The first thing you need is some type of leaf blower or air compressor. For something like cracks, I prefer a air compressor because I just like this nozzle. I feel you can get more air into the crack and really clean it out. Definitely helps to have a wire brush just to kind of scrape it to get rid of the dust and the dirt in the crack. Depending on how old the crack is or how old your driveway is, you're probably going to want some screwdrivers. I would use some old ones because you're going to kind of be prying a little bit and it might wreck the tip. Depending on what type of crack filler you buy, in this case, I bought a tube of crack filler. It's actually a little thicker, so hopefully it won't run as easy. So then you're going to need some type of caulk gun. And then if you do that, you probably need some type of spatula to try to smooth out the crack. I always recommend safety gear, especially when you're blowing out the crack. If you don't want to get tons of dust in your eyes, I would use a pair of safety glasses or goggles. And again, depending on how loud your leaf blower is or how loud your air compressor is, I would use some hearing protection. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly go through the process of how to properly prepare a crack. Again, there's different methods, but this to me is a method that's probably going to get you good results. So the first thing I'm going to do is, obviously once the air compressor is on, I'm going to take the air compressor and do a good job blowing it out, try to get as much of the dust and the dirt and the grass out of there. Then what I do, depending on how dirty this is, I'm going to take it and just kind of try to scrub it. Obviously if the crack is wider, it's easier to get the wire bristles in there. But again, you're just trying to clean it up, loosen up that dust. And then I'm going to come through, if there's dirt or grass, just kind of scrape some of it out the best you can. Keep in mind that the better you prepare this surface, the cleaner it is, the better this product can bond, which probably is going to extend the life. It's harder for it to pull out. So just depending on how much work you want to put into it, I would suggest do a good job. So again, you scrape out the grass, some of the dirt, and then what I would do is I'm going to come back through and blow it out again. Hopefully it looks clean. If not, I would just repeat it again. Another additional step you can do, and you got to be careful, is if it's really dirty, you can use a pressure washer or a hose to clean out the crack. But you have to be really careful that if you do that, you have to give it time to dry. You don't want water in your crack. You don't want to trap water in your crack. And then after that, I'm going to just get my caulk gun ready, obviously cut the tip, and then I'm going to slowly fill the crack. Take your time. I have not used this product before, so I don't know how it's going to respond. Some crack filler is going to be thicker. Some of it's going to be more like a self-leveling crack filler or sealer. So just be really careful. You don't want to overfill it and then have it run all over. So I would start with a small amount, starting in an area that's not as visible so you get some practice. And then that way you get a chance to figure out what works best. And then after you do that, depending on your material, if you have to, I would just take this and just slowly scrape it along the surface. And what you're trying to do with this is you're trying to get a nice overband on both sides of the crack, not too thick. If you get too much sealer up above the crack, there's a better chance that the snowplow or a snowblower will catch it. And again, it's a better chance of it pulling out. Okay, so far I showed you why we crack seal, and then I showed you how to prepare it. This area should be good to go. This was a pretty new pavement, so I didn't need to do a lot of cleaning or a lot of prep work. So now we're just going to take our crack filler, and I just used a Seal Best elastomeric blacktop crack filler. And then you just go slow so you don't overfill the joint. Take your time. You can always apply more crack filler if it sinks in, or if it's too low at the end. Okay, I'm just very slowly filling this in. Taking my time. This stuff's actually pretty thick. It's not really self-leveling. And you don't want to apply too much crack filler, because otherwise the overband gets too high and it's easy for the snowplow or a snowblower or a shovel to catch it and possibly tear it out. So I just applied it to a short section here, and at that point, depending on how thick your crack filler is, if it's more self-leveling, you may not have to do this next step, but this stuff is thicker. And then you just take your metal scraper and apply a light pressure. And just slowly run it along. If the spot didn't fill in, use a little bit of the extra material on your metal scraper to help seal the crack in. And if it's still low, you can always add some more afterwards. And again, I'm going pretty slow. Once you get the hang of it, this should be a lot faster. So far, I like this material. It seems like it has a nice overband, and I think it's going to do a nice job of sealing the crack. You want to make sure whatever product you grab or whatever product you use, make sure you follow the manufacturer's recommendation. There are a wide range of crack sealers, crack fillers, and some of them are more quick setting. In other words, you won't have as much time to work with the product before it sets up. Other ones are slower, some are self-leveling, some are thicker. So you really want to be careful. Read the directions, because, again, everything is different. Every product is different. For this example, the Seal Best sealer, it looks like it sets in about, or it cures or sets and ready for traffic in about 24 hours. You need to watch the temperature. This one is 60 degrees and rising. But again, every product is different, so just make sure you read the manufacturer's recommendations on the back. So we just finished sealing the crack, and so just a reminder, make sure you follow the manufacturer's recommendation to make sure you don't allow traffic to drive on the crack filler too soon, because there is a point where it can start sticking to tires and you can start pulling up the crack filler. So you really want to make sure you follow the directions, and I hope this video added value to you. Thank you.